Back on the red carpet for the Twin Cities Film Fest. I'm Blythe Whaley, and right now we are after Antarctica. But that is the film we're on. We're not on that voyage currently. But this is Will Steger. And Will, we're so glad you're here to talk about your film. And obviously, Antarctica is a lot different than Minnesota, but not really when you get down to the heart. Yeah, they're both cold.
Yeah.
But Will, can you tell me about what that beginning process was for this film that you really started to venture into?
Yeah, well, after Antarctica, the producers are Natasha Van Zandt and Sebastian Zeck, and they were responsible for the film. I'm the subject, so I met Natasha about 9 years ago, and I was super impressed with her. We became friends right away, and we got to know each other. And about a year and a half later, she had this proposal about which she said this movie that she wanted to do called After Antarctica. And by that time, we had a really strong trust relationship with Natasha and Sebastian. And I said, well, let's do it. But you're the ones that have to really put it together. And I opened up all my archives. We spent a lot of time together. We put probably 6 Christmases together. Antarctica, we stayed on a little cabin the size of a closet. And they were up in my expeditions. We slept on floors. And so we've had a lot of intimate relations that way of tight quarters and sharing a lot of ourselves in it. And both of them are extremely sensitive and talented people, which I think expresses itself in the film. The film could have gone any way, but I'm absolutely pleased with it because it goes beyond. I'm noted for expeditions, but it goes way beyond the expedition and the platform of the expedition, in this case, preserving Antarctica, a major treaty that we were doing at that time.
And so when you were on set making this film happen, were there any challenges that you had to face to really make this come alive?
Well, Natasha and Sebastian filmed at the end of these solos, but again, of course, he had really bad weather. It wasn't super cold, but it was still windy and raining and snowing, and they had to make the cameras work, but there was no backup. I mean, if you forgot something, that would be too bad. And this was their first experience in this type of a setting, but they're real professional filmmakers, but they did everything just perfectly. I mean, it's super patient. I mean, they'd film 23, 24 hours straight up there. It's 24-hour light. Yeah. And when I was resting, they were out photographing the sunsets, and they did a lot of shots there with drone there, amazing shots. So it's really their talent that was able to put it together how it is today.
Yeah, it's crazy when you talk about the 23 hours
Yeah.
that they could just keep going if they
going.
wanted to.
No,
And when we're talking about your film, is there something that you're just very proud of that is going to come across when people see this film that really stood out to you?
Yeah, I think it's an unusual film because it goes deep into a solo, into my life, but a reflection of everyone else's life, because we go through all these questions and that, and they take that and then they go to the big picture of a major international expedition with many countries involved in that. And but this whole thing that they did is putting these two together, and just the way they produced it. And I've seen it probably because I do film festivals now with them, but probably about 15 times, and I look at how they put it together. Each time I learn more of their techniques, and what really made it a really good film was it was this incredible production that they did. They also had a lot of help too. In L.A. they didn't have a lot of money, but they had a lot of individuals that really stepped up, and some scholarships through film making put them in with really professionals, which is again reflected, I think, in the overall production of it.
And so finally, when you're able to step away from this film, is there, thoughts of wanting to get back into it and do another one? Is there anything in the works that you want to make happen again?
Well, I thought I could make my mark in writing, but after seeing a film like this, I really, wow, it's so powerful. But I have a huge, I've been filming since I was 8 years old. I mean, that's since 1952. So I have this massive archives, and they just scratched the surface of it. And I never, really put a lot of thought of where these archives would go, but meeting through their friends and the incredible talents of the younger filmmakers, I think there's probably a possibility of somebody else wanting to deal with it. I'm not interested in producing something myself, but I really would be open up to some creative ideas for someone that might want to try something different.
Yeah, so you heard it here, folks. He's ready for it.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
We're looking for talent. I'm real good at recruiting talent, so yeah, good.
No, that's awesome. Well, we thank you so much for being here with us on the Twin Cities Film Fest red carpet.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
there
red
anything
carpet.
that you have been enjoying here at the festival? Have you been able to spend some time?
Just enjoying everybody here and the talent and some of the filmmakers I've met and the people here. It's such a film festival brings out the best of the artistic talent in the community, and it's reflected here in the Twin Cities. So everyone is putting so much time. Small sponsors, big sponsors, massive amount of people hours and commitment to doing this, and it's really reflected. And I did the kind of the opening get together. I met a lot of the people that were responsible for the Twin Cities Film Festival here, and I'm very impressed with the talent and made some actually good friends right away.
Well, we are impressed with you, Will Steger, After Antarctica. Thank you so much for being with us.
Okay, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Well, this has been Blythe Whaley on the Twin Cities Film Fest red carpet. But we are going to bring in a sponsor here in just a few seconds, so stick around.